Good morning, America. This is Dr. Turi with another interesting video. This one is titled, Bernie Sanders said that if he's elected, he will reveal whether aliens are real. Pay attention. You get another little omen. All right, now, first of all, those politicians will do absolutely anything to get elected. And I can guarantee you that Bernie Sanders does not know nothing about UFOs. And I told you many times before, extraterrestrials, first of all, are forbidden by the Galactic Federation of Grand Order to interfere with the humans' affair. Now, secondly, they do not care about Bernie Sanders, Trump, Obama, Queen of England. They don't care about your education. They do not care about your accomplishment, where you stand in the ladder of success, your notoriety. They do not care. Get it? What they are interested is something that those guys, very rational, very practical, very skeptical, very educated, do not have by birth. That is a very highly, very advanced, very spiritual UCI. And for those of you who do not know what UCI means, well, click in the link. It's there in all my newsletters. UCI stands for Unique Celestial Identity. So let me refresh your memory. You may look like your mom, your brother, your sister, your dad, whatever, okay? Genetically, you are 100% connected with your family. But on the spiritual genes or you see, you are a total stranger to your closest family member because you're never going to think, behave, create, or have the same fate than any of them. It's all written in light through the stars. And do you think Bernie Sanders, Trump, and all these educated people who have reached such a high level of accomplishments are going to be remotely interested about UFOs? Now, you got to be a lunatic who perceive as a weirdo like me. Not only to be attracting those incredible experiences, let alone talking to an ET like Draco. But that's what it is, because I'm like there to attract a piece of wood for your memory again, for you to understand that it's pretty simple to me, but to some people it is not. So when I wrote LOL, laugh out loud, at the end of the sentence, that's what I meant. A lot of people are going to think immediately when they see the title, oh, wow, you know what, he's right, this is ridiculous, ha 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 ha. Jesus, those people have so much to learn and all. Let them go 30 feet under flying saucers. Let them be, connecting with men in black face to face. Let them go inside that flying saucers and see those entities cutting up your wife apart and taking the features. Now, it's a very, very personal experience. I can stand on my head, I can dance, I can do anything you want. Unless you go through it like I did, you can only laugh about it. That's why I wrote LOL. All right, those people have so much to learn. Let's move on to the news. Remember, this negative Plutonic window is all about drama, secret, sex, murder, terrorism. And then, like always, make sure to click on the provided link so you can read. Or if you want to watch the news, you can watch the news as I express them to you in a very different way. Remember, those news are produced by those cosmic winds, which are manipulated by the reptilians, a group of extraterrestrials who can only survive with fears and chaos and negativity. And if you look at the state of this world, somebody must be right. They are winning the battle. Okay, let's look at the first news here. Let's figure this out. Silicon Valley star credit swinging with saving marriages. of course, to all the conservative religious people, when you say swinging, wow, what is that? They get in the shock of their lives because, Christianity mentioned that, until death do us apart. Okay, I'm not saying I'm a swinger. No. Remember, I'm half Italian, half French, Sicilian, and we don't share our wives. No, no. But I understand them. Why do I understand them? Because I have cosmic consciousness. Those kids probably were born with a dual dragon. A dual dragon means the number 246 will follow you for the rest of your life. It's pretty much like the Gemini or the Trump, cannot have one golf course or one tweet or one hotel. It's 2468 and it goes forever. When you're a dual, you have that energy of doing things twice. And then that dual energy, it brings an attraction to the opposite sex, sometimes the same sex. Now, chances are they are stars. So they're probably the children of people who already have made it big out there. So the mother and the father, I don't think, had a very, very clean life to start with. So chances are those people have been infected. Remember the rules. Okay? If you drink too much, if you smoke too much, if you take illegal drug, or by accident you buy what you think is behind the counter, very safe medication, next thing you know, the reptilians are going to get down to the fetus of the mother, and they're going to start to manipulate the genes, and that's where autism, Down syndrome, gays, lesbian, or swingers come from. But it's all stimulated by the UCI. If you don't have a dual UCI, you're certainly not going to be sharing your wife. Okay, so that's what it is. It is probably repulsing to a lot of people who don't have cosmic consciousness. It's pretty much the same thing when you think about gay or lesbian or LGBTQ. I mean, you're talking, that's repulsing to the normal, what you call normal people who have no cosmic consciousness. But once you understand those cosmic winds and making us who we are, because we are, robot. We are just, our mind is connected with the universal mind out there, and we're responding to this outside stimuli subconsciously. So once you understand, basically, the cosmic design or how God made his children, and it's far from being what's written in the Bible, believe me, because God never came down with no books, but he made the stars. Once you understand that and you raise to a higher level of understanding of cosmic consciousness, for that matter, then you become more forgiving, more understanding. And you're not going to go out there and start to hate people or want to kill people because they don't behave like you do. Their genes have been manipulated by those entities. That's what it comes down. All right, so let's see something else. Angel's mom, whose son was killed by illegal immigrant, claims Facebook is censoring her posts. Nothing new. Oh, I believe that. I believe that Facebook is doing much more damage to you than what you think. And it's been a few weeks now since I haven't been on Facebook because they haven't censored me. They got rid of my ass. So did Wikipedia, LinkedIn, Google. So, the conspiracy against me is very real. So I have absolutely no problem to believe or claim that Facebook is censoring a post. Facebook is not there to help you. Facebook is luring you, okay? And it's technology which can be very rewarding, as you can talk to your family, friends you haven't seen forever, that is stimulated by the draconics, but you also have those losers, those reptilians, infected negative soul who have nothing to do but to beat the hell out of you or any famous person because they got a big ass or whatever excuse they have. It's just terrible. So as I said, a lot of people are spending a lot of time, I'd say wasting a lot of time on Facebook, amusing themselves when they could become so much more creative, getting more ideas, and not engaging in fight that you take with you before you go to bed. So, think about it. I think Facebook is definitely a nest of reptilians who are misusing the essence of humanity to, in both ways, good or bad, good and bad. Remember the rules. men, women, up and down, black and white. Can have a God without a devil, vice versa. 2 eyes, 2 arms, 2 sides of the brain, okay? 2 feet. Yin and yang, positive, negative, is all about that. Once you understand those 2 forces, you understand there cannot be life without opposites. And it's up to you now, by applying your will or by building cosmic consciousness, not to feed the reptilians or the forces of evil, the forces of darkness. What else do we have involving this nasty, nasty plutonic deadly window? Girls 5 disappear after man led her into a red van. Man, this is just too much. Yeah. Everybody should listen to when I said, careful what you do, careful what you say, careful where you go. Kids are not allowed to watch me. And the parents are the religious fanatic or skeptic and think science has all the answers. They're missing so much. Meantime, they don't get no warning, and their little girl disappear into a red van. And that little girl is going to be found dead somewhere. I hope not. I hope not. What's the chances? So the reptilians are watching you so closely. You got to be careful. And you got to pay attention. Here you go. Dramatic, deadly news. Sex. Pittsburgh pirates admit driving to girl's home to have sex with her. She's 13 years old. I mean, you're talking about a big, big guy. Now he's going to get his serious wake-up call because secrets come to life. And the key words that I use with my quatrain clearly enunciate sex, secrets to the light. You're talking about a big guy now. You're talking somebody who has money, somebody who has power. Now his entire life is going to be totally trashed because the reptilians have manipulated him and have messed him up in messing around with a 13-year-old. It's too much. Sometimes, when I see things like that, it makes me puke. But this is like the reptilians have give this guy name, fame, power. And what does he do with it? Go and rape 13 years old. Prosecutor, state senator charged with having child porn. Again, the word porn was used. It doesn't stop at a normal person, especially those who have money. Okay, like this Epstein guy, very, very rich, very close friend of Trump, grab her by the pussy. That should tell you a little bit more about the story. But people have, they don't want to see it. Oh, no. President Trump, no, you cannot be mingled with that. My gosh, you guys are so innocent. This guy had money, had power. It's like a clan. It's like a religious, it's like a cult. They know each other. They talk to each other. Oh, I'm going to be in town doing this conference. I'm going to be talking here and that. I don't have time to go anywhere. I'd like to screw a little girl. How can you can you help me? Of course I'm going to help you. If you had that, when Trump says, oh yeah, he was a good friend of mine for many years, and some of these girls are on the younger side, you have to be stupid not to believe even our president is not involved with that. But hey, he doesn't care. He's dead now. He was killed. It is not an accident. Oh my God. You got so much to be aware of. Now, this is how you should read the news. Bypass what those who control the information want you to know. Because all those writers in these, would it be at CNN or Fox, they have jurisdictions, they have structures, there are regulations. They cannot go outside of the box. If not, they lose their job. Yeah, hey, I'm on a boss. I'm not going to fire myself. If I fire myself, it's because I want to. Because you don't receive it. You're not able to assimilate it. I'm wasting my time. So let's fire myself and let's go and fish, let's go fishing to Florida. But hey, try to understand the news outside of what your 5 limited human senses dictate. And then you're going to learn. You're going to build that cosmic awareness. You will in time. And you will become much more aware of the reptilians, because this is not a product of my imagination. It is not a product of David Icke's imagination too, because he saw them. You know the story. I'm going to repeat myself. We talk about David later on a little bit more. So let's move on to another one. Alien flying disc and sighting. Oh my, a short history of UFO in America. When I wrote earlier, when I put LOL after the sentence about Bernie Sanders, introducing telling if UFOs are real or not. Now you have the full proof that what I'm talking about when these stupid idiots, alien flying disc and sighting dash, oh my, exclamation point, tells you the type of people you're dealing with. How can you, in the name of God, attract the divine if you have such a stupid attitude? Remember the law. A magnet will not attract a piece of wood. It's just logical. And those people have been indoctrinated into religion. Oh my gosh, there's only God or Jesus or Allah or Buddha or whatever they've been poisoned with by the reptilians who created our religions, okay? Or they might have been literally poisoned with the scientific matrix, who, will tell you astrology is, subtle science, something you ridicule, you trash, or you read on your horoscope newspaper. That is true. That is what it is with modern astrology, but not with Nostradamus divine astrology. The proof of that is that I give you, predictions and date of earthquakes, and it happened if you watch. So the oh my is telling you a lot of things about the normal people out there. Okay, those who will look at me 5 minutes and ridicule me and run off, or some of them, of course, are what I call educated idiots, okay, the atheists, agnostic, the skeptics, scientists. Or you have the young soul. Those are the religious fanatics, the pious people, the God-fearing idiots out there, not realizing that God cannot do anything wrong or anything bad because it's a positive energy to start with. So how can you sign into hell? You're already on hell anyway. So, the history of UFOs in America, it can only be told by people who are real, by people like me. And I'm not the only one, believe me. There's a lot of us out there. And if you ever hope to attract those UFOs, you better get a better attitude than oh my or LOL. That fits my topic today. All right, 26 children die as fire breaks out in Liberia boarding school. Death, dramatic news during my window, 26 kids. Imagine the pain of the parents sending their kids to school and then never see it again. Either because they die in a fire or, lunatic, infected soul, kill them with an AK-47. Sad. My heart goes to their families. Category 3, Umberto closing in a busy Atlantic season continues. Well, again, Umberto, Dorian, and now Imelda could dump 20 to 25 inches of rain in Texas. It happened exactly on the timing that I gave you. And guess what? I could have done that last year and give you this timing too, because it's all mathematics. All I do is mathematics. I'm not a woo-woo. I'm not a Neptunian. I use a software that I design. That's why the scientific community, who assume I'm a woo-woo Neptunian, which they don't even know what that means because they never click on the link to learn what a Neptunian is all about, are going to ridicule my work. Meantime, I do much better than all of them combined, and they don't like me for that. And a lot of people won't like me for that fact. I'm going to assume I'm egocentric. Let's move on. Mosquito-borne virus victim went from healthy to brain dead in 9 days. You have the reptilians group of extraterrestrials, but I don't know how many of you have heard of the insectus. It's another group, but they're not reptile, they are insectus. And in fact, I have a good friend of mine who have dealt with them also physically during one of these near-death experience. So I want to respect his name. I'm not going to mention anything, but he saw them when he died of a heart attack, and he was brought back to life. So you don't have just the reptilians or the draconians, you also have the insectus, and all of them have their code, all of them have their agenda, and some of them are much more active than others, but doesn't stop at the reptilians, or the reptilians, David, I call them. A brand is selling sweatshirt with words Sandy Hook and bullet holes on them. It's funny that in the last 2 or 3 days I've been talking about Sandy Hook. Now you see that. I mean, that can be pretty offending. Anything, those people will do anything to make a few bucks. Or what is make a sweatshirt with, bullet hole in it? How the hell I dare you? If you had lost a child or a family member on this Sandy Hook happening, maybe on this massacre, maybe you feel like those people who've been victimized. Shame on you, I say. Freaking reptilians, making people creating all sorts of things to bring attention to themselves and make a few bucks. That's greed, that's negativity, that's definitely reptilians infected. Back to school, PSA, Shocks of Europe. Nicole Hockley, she is the mother of one of those child, and she started a movement. You have a link. It's called the Dylan Swing of Change.org. Regardless of what Nicole Hockley is doing, which is absolutely beautiful, trying to save kids' life, like they taught those kids to go under a table if there is a nuke. But a chance to escape. That's stupid. The same thing with Nicole Hockley. With all the respect, I owe that lady for all that she's trying to do. Get a jacket and not, make a tighter knot or do things. So these are things that are valuable, that may or may not save life, but that's not the core of the problem. So maybe you should click on that link and try to help me to reach Nicole Hockley and explain to her that the reason why people like Adam Anza have killed a son or daughter, I think it's a son, as victimize those criminals that she wants them to see dying or in jail forever or being electrocuted, drowned. God knows what they're going to do to kill these people, injection. No, they are victims of the U.S. Department of Education because they do not allow me to reach those people and explain their UCI and point out that the overwhelming plutonic negative energy that will be used by the reptilians to turn these kids into killers. I don't know how many of you have read my 600-page book called The Power of the Dragon, but there is a generation called the Death Wish generation. And Adam Lanza was one of them. Now, does Nicole knows about it? Does all the victims of the Sandy Hook damage knows about the Deadly Wish generation? They don't even know about the Honor Dragon, for God's sake. The dragon is something that even in Asia, they've lost the power of the dragon, like the Christians have lost the power of God cosmic design, speaking his will through the sign and through the 12 apostles, representing again the 12 months of the years, the 12 hours of the day, the 12 sins, the 12 virtues, the 12 tribes of Israel, the 12 notes of music. All this supreme cosmic wisdom has been lost. And it survived through people like me that were abducted by the extraterrestrial and downloaded the cosmic code, something that makes no sense to anybody, which is too rational and is born with an underdeveloped UCI or unique celestial identity. They're rational and they're religious. Anything else don't work. God is science, or God is reading the Bible, not realizing that God never came down and wrote no Bible. He made the stars. And if you don't speak God cosmic language, then you're going to have your prayer be answered. So just remember, what really, really offends me now is when you have people like Alex Jones or David Icke that makes you believe that 9/11 Sandy Hook was staged and the Holocaust didn't take place. And then you wonder why you get his ass kicked out of Australia. Believe me, 9/11, if it was staged, I was able to give all the details about it a year or more before it happened and give the exact timing. Have you read it? No. If you don't read it, you can only assume. That's why you need to investigate. As I told you before, David and I, we used to be very close friends wherever he was in the world. And I was there to guide him. He had my books before anybody. He made a good use of my book and my cosmic wisdom when you talk about Saturn and all the other planets out there. So, you know, it's important to realize and to understand back in 1995, when we signed our contract with the Truth Seeker, excuse me, he got hundreds of thousands of dollars. He had a limousine waiting for him and $1 million house while he was sitting there, and then took the effort to write this contract with the Truth Seeker that made him. Okay, that's beautiful. I'm good with that. What I do not really accept is the details of Bonnie Lang, the president of the Truth Seeker. She did not respect the will of the very, very beautiful man who gave millions to her. And he said, only those who are to fight religion should benefit from my money. She did not respect the will of this beautiful man. David Icke, I don't think David Icke talk about religions or God, cosmic divinity or astrology, because he wanted to have astrology being promoted. But, you know, the reptilians out there, the reptilians will always take their most powerful children, so to speak. There are more gifted children, and David is very gifted. He's a genius on his own right, because believe me, conspiracy is real. Not all he talk about is bullshit. There's one thing that we don't agree. All the rest I agree with him. Don't get me wrong. Just one thing. And you need to know. That's why I repeat myself in all my video in case you just land on it. Okay. Back in 1995, David told me, Louis, I'm going to go and write a book about the reptilians. And I said, David, you know what? The tail of the dragon is in your subconscious, in the sign of Pisces, because he was born in April. Okay. And I said to him, and he goes, what does it mean? I said to him, you're going to be handling forces that you do not understand. You're going to be spending hours, weeks, or even months writing this book, because I know how you are. You're very focused. Okay. And then, I don't know if David drinks or smoke. I have no idea. Okay. Maybe I do, but I don't want to say it. What I'm trying to say is, in one of these days or nights, he saw the reptilians. It's like some people who drink too much, who do drugs. They see things. The subconscious is something so very powerful. And you didn't read my 600-page book, Beyond the Secret, or you didn't take a study on hypnotherapy. You may not understand the power of the subconscious. So I did all that, and I tried to tell him to be cautious. Next thing you know, all the elements, all the cosmic wind and the reptilians was there, and here they are. They presented themselves to him, and he got scared to hell, and he's still scared to hell to this date. Now, in his mind, because of his UCI, David has a fear of power, and he's all about money, believe me. Okay? I remember when I took him to my radio show that I had in Phoenix on those days. He says to me, "What do you drive a Hammer? You could save money." And he was making tons of money. In fact, I was supposed to go and see him the next day in his conference in Phoenix, which was sold out. So the guy was making tons of money. In time, he didn't want to give money to his ex-wife. It's a long story. I don't want to go there. It's too private. But what I'm trying to tell you is all the element was there for him to see those entities. He saw the reptilians, and because his inner core is all about fearing power and fearing control and being very much into the 8th house of money. Okay, remember, he has the same stars as Hitler. He was born with the same stars. I'm not saying he's Hitler, but Hitler was a master communication, and so is David. He can talk to you to death. He's a talking machine. That's just the way he is. He's an Aries, going click. Some people will say, no. He's a Taurus. Oh, Hitler is not an Aries. He's a Taurus. Go and click in the sign of Aries, and you're going to see David Icke or Hitler in full beauty of the cosmic jurisdictions. But what I'm trying to refer to is that after that, I told him, when I read his book, I said, David, what were you doing? You actually think the Queen of England or all these big people, all these Illuminati who pull all the cord are actually turning into a lizard? I said, do you have any idea what you're talking about? I tried to put some sense in his head. And that's where we started. Oh, wow. If you read our email exchange, oh my gosh, it turned out to be really, really infected in the way he was talking to me. And everything he was saying was just totally unbelievable. Well, click on the links and then you'll find out that email exchange. So when I start to, when I start to challenge him and tell him, David, every one of us, you and me, are under the jurisdictions of those entities. Not only rich people are affected by those, by the reptilians, or the reptilians, as he called them. The reptilians, because that's what Draco told me their real name is. I said, you know, it's all psychical, you know. Everybody from all walks of life, smart, idiot, rich, poor, healthy, unhealthy, pay attention, are under the reptilian jurisdictions. They control your mind, they control your psyche, and they lead you, especially if you use drugs or alcohol, whatever, to degenerate. And then the damage is done. Now you open up the golden door to those reptilians will lead you at the end. You're so degenerated, you're so depressed that you either kill people or you hang yourself. That's why he will never stop. So when it comes to David, he needs to understand that he has to give a way out to an explanation, but he has been saying this for years and years and years. He's not going to stop and saying to you, oh, no, you know what, nobody can turn into a lizard. Yeah. But he cannot retract itself. He had said things and he should own them. And I'm here to try to make sense to you by giving you something that is much more realistic, which is real. It's not just realistic, it is actually real. But it takes time for you to, especially if you've been fed by David for years and you trust him, to accept something else. I'm not saying all that he talks about in his material is bullshit. Far from that. No, he's a freaking genius. Okay? Only that, he lost it. And he never understood why. And when I tried to counteract it, that's where his ego excuse me, took over. He's a Leo dragon's tail. Leo is ego. No lack with love, romance. He's probably going to end up with a heart attack. I hate saying that, but I looked at all the very famous people who died, who have David's chart. And we talk again in the future when you're going to hear on the news, David Icke died with a heart attack. And I wish I could reach him and help him to regenerate so that he doesn't suffer a heart attack. But it's really all right. And only when this happened, that's when you're going to see Jesus. I remember Dr. Turi. I was laughing at him. I hated him because he was just knocking down my hero. But damn, he was right. That's what you're going to say. And then you're going to remember, wow, Draco was real. Draco is real. In reference to this lady, okay, click on the in memory of the Sandy Hook elementary shooting victim. You have that video. You have this video and in that newsletter. You have the link, click on it, and then you have the Sandy Hook video that I did there. They are explained. This is what Nicole Hockley needs to understand. It's okay to teach children geography, algebra, history, the art, English. God knows what they want to become. The education is a must. But who is there to teach those kids who they are, where they came from, the part they play in the universal code, in the magnificent God design? What part do they play? Do they know about their soul's purpose? No. Do they know about their second house of money and self-esteem? How the universe is going to help them to generate self-esteem by making money? Do they know about it? No. Do they know about their third house, which is their critical thinking, how they perceive life? The house and the sign and the planet in all combined together will make you thinking, believing, reacting in a very different way. And unless you become cosmic conscious, you will never be able to jump out of yourself and to properly and correctly not only auto-analyze yourself, but understand your mother, your daughter, your son, your friends, your husband, and your wife. And what you're going to get, bang, that's what you're going to get, because you don't have cosmic consciousness. There are people that are reach a very specific position in life. Okay, it's all written in light. Believe me, I know what I'm talking about. Nearly 70 years old. I have time all my life to educate myself outside of conventionality. There's a big, 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 huge, huge difference between education and intelligence or a gift. That's what Einstein says. You know, if you read Einstein's quote, it's all about, education is what stops people to grow. You cannot be conditioned. You need to always open up to something that you may not like, something that you may not understand just yet will be proven to you later on when you grow up. You know, look at a child. He's a child, negative. Negative because he doesn't know better than his brother, which is 5 years older. His brother's 5 years advanced. Now look what happened, okay? He's negative, but he's growing. And then his brother, instead of growing, keeping these 5 years, got an accident on his head. So he is now unable to educate himself and to grow. Now look at his brother, which was negative, becomes like his brother, and then it surpasses his brother. Now look what happened. His brother got fixed, and he's the one now who got bitten in the head. Now look, oh, it was negative, it was positive. Look, this is what life is all about. I'm well ahead of time, and you have to come up to where I am in terms of my predictions, in terms of your own psychical growth. It takes time. Then you will realize that life is a constant process of endless changes that you cannot control. And on top of that, life is based upon the reincarnation of your thought, which becomes your reality because you are much more than a human being made of blood, flesh, and bone. You are divine. You're there in this hell. You're not going to go to hell. This is it. You're here to learn to control your thought and to build your future. So anytime, in any way, shapes, or form, if you're negative, if you hate somebody, or if you hate me, or if you laugh, if you ridicule, if you want to be negative, do not for 1 second to doubt my words. You are infected to a certain degree. Same with me. When I drink too much, 2 or 3 beers, I don't drink. So when I start to drink, I lose it. I'm not the same. The reptilians, slowly but surely, are leading in my mind and my words. People, when they become really greedy, the more money they make, the more money they want. There you go. Now their justice, their sense of honor, integrity goes through the window. I want money. I want sex. I want drugs. I want to be infected. I want to be negative. And then when you don't say it consciously, but you behave that way subconsciously. So here goes the choice. Remember, 2 eyes, 2 arms, 2 legs, good and bad, yin and yang, male, female, 2 sides of the brain, 2 feet. The positive, the negative, the yin and yang, it's a choice. It's either you're going to feed the reptilians, okay, who can only survive in dark matter with your fears, insecurity, with negativity, and being ugly every single day, not only to the world or to your friends or your parents or whomever, but also to yourself. You degenerate. You are now being eaten alive by the devil, by the demons, or what Christians call the devil. Now you have the other one. That's the draconists. Those guys are feeding you from the source of, number 1, the source of light, or the sun. Okay, those draconists are there to give you hope, to help you to create anything, everything, to say the next beautiful word that come out of your mouth, to be more curious, to be more open, to promote the future, and to understand that we are not doomed, regardless of what's going on around you, okay? Regardless how powerful and how in control the reptilians are upon this dense physical world and the damage they are doing every single day, never forget, the reptilians are below the draconists. You can never, ever switch off the light of God, the light of Jesus' cosmic initial ministry. You cannot do this. So whatever happened, the draconists are there. They are there, and they are going to do their part in time, something you cannot assimilate, comprehend, or even accept just now. in terms of becoming one of the chosen one. That's why when you read the newsletter, if you want to know about the chosen one, you go back and read the one I read yesterday. I wrote yesterday. It may seem too far-fetched for a lot of you out there, and I understand. That's why you need to take time and grow and give an option to your psychical power to expand, to your psychical energy to speak to you. You know that little voice in you, what you call intuition, will never lie. Okay, that is if you learn to listen to it. All right, so we have discussed a lot of interesting things today. Remember, those videos will never really stop, but they're probably going to get shorter, and especially the newsletters. The newsletters are going to be very short, and this is why, like I said yesterday, if you want to read about apocalypse, not the reason why something is something you may want to take seriously about the apocalypse. If you want to read all the details, and then you have to join the Patreon, and you have the link in the newsletter. Just click in it. It's very cheap. I think it's $5 a month. Okay, it shows. It will show your support for me. It will show if you really like what I say. You know, I'm starting to put stuff in there. It's not going to be launched just yet. It's going to be launched after the 30th or the 27th or the 30th. I have 2 more dates, 2 more SOS to the world that I gave on the air on the radio. So I have to fulfill those 2 dates. And after that, there'll be no more SOS to the world available to you. And there will be no more full Cosmic Code newsletters. You know, if you want it, then join Patreon, pay the $5 for 1 month. Then you're going to keep learning. You're going to keep growing, okay? And then if you don't like it, well, just drop Dr. Turi and go and watch the big fat girl who's stuffing herself with spaghetti or eating boots, or, you know, look at a viral video of a bird looking at himself into a camera. I don't know. Whatever fits your game. If you're a vibrator at my cosmic speed and you are a superhuman, the chances are you make the right choice and you're going to join us. Okay? All right. So that's being said, remember, very soon now, on the 25th, a few days from now, I'm going to be doing the Spiritual Awakening series with Tom Deinheiser, Coast to Coast AM producer. There, I will teach you how to harness the creative forces of your subconscious as to fulfill your destiny. I will make you aware of what your soul's purpose is all about. And I will also mention some of your past lives. I will teach you, of course, what the stars have in store for you. I will do some forecast in 2020, okay? I will teach you how to respect universal laws that are based upon your sun sign and, of course, the moon. I will teach you how to use the formidable power that is clocked into your nativity, or how God made you, so to speak, and how to use the power. I will teach you about various group of extraterrestrials, not only the Draconis or the Reptilians or the Insectus, okay? There's an army of them out there. I will teach you also, and you will see right in front of you the beauty of Jesus' Immaculate Celestial Cosmic Ministry, because I'm going to bring my artwork, okay? I will explain to you also not only the reptilians or the various extraterrestrial agenda, but I will also explain to you how the extraterrestrials put our planet together in our solar system and bring the soul of the cosmos to affect every one of us on this specific planet. So to do that, the more people we have, the less I'll be able to delegate all the details. So the best would be for me to have like maybe 30 people top. You know, below that would be better, because I have to talk to you at a personal level. It's not just a conference where you listen to the speaker. That's very different. I'm going to be really close to you. I'm going to get you maybe on stage or from wherever you're sitting. I'm going to point out your stars, your dragon. I'm going to be talking to you personally. It's not like you're sitting there and you're listening to another talking head talking about UFOs. And that's going to be, before that, I'm going to be doing my slideshow. on UFOs. You're going to see everything that happened to me. You may have read it, that's fine, that's beautiful, but nothing like you're going to see the picture that I have. Okay. And then at the end, when everything is said and done, that's where Draco is going to come in. That's where you're going to feel the power of this extraterrestrial working through your body, your mind, and your soul. When I put you in a very light hypnotic trance. This is a very special show. I'm going to be doing this in Australia. I'm going to be doing the same thing also on my cruise, my upcoming UFO cruise. It's not too late for you to join. That's going to be going in October very soon. So there is all sorts of things that we have to do. Not only in Australia or in Egypt, that's coming for 2020, but we also have an anti-aging getaway cruise. You know, as I said, I'm only nearly 70 years old. I beat cancer. I know how to stop smoke. I know exactly what to do for you to actually not only stop the clock, but turn it back. And I'm going to do it with my hands and with my feet. And you're going to learn how to do that. And once you come on that anti-aging getaway cruise where I teach all that, oh my gosh, that's going to follow you for the rest of your life. And every single morning, you're going to do exactly what I do. And you're going to take exactly what I do because I'm going to divulge all the secret to stay young. All right. Well, I wanted to finish on a good note. Nothing better than to stay young forever like Dr. Turi. All right, my friend, remember, be happy. That's laughing and being happy is the first thing you have to learn to develop and be positive and work with the dark artists. All right, God willing, talk to you again. Goodbye.